Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. It is September 15, 2017, 1:41 a.m. Birmingham. Look, I have some of the blogs, what's Kerry doing in the Antarctica, ready, but I can't keep my internet up long enough to upload them. It keeps just every little bit shutting down on me. So I got to get that fixed, and then I'll start uploading these. But I'm going to try to do a quick one now. And the title is, The Pulpits Will Be Empty. In 1 hour, they'll be full. And I'm making reference to something that'll happen in that hour. That'll be the rapture of the church. The next hour, America, 100% of it will fall into chaos. 1 hour after the rapture, all the pulpits, all the churches will be full. Most of those who run this country today, and when I'm talking about running, I'm talking about social order. I'm not talking about political. And you're talking about doctors, you're talking about lawyers, you're talking about downtown at the courthouse, the people that run things that you don't like, property taxes, but just everything in general that runs your day-to-day life. And most of these things, again, including doctors, government officials, police officers, military, they will disappear. They'll be gone. In other words, there's no one there to cover you. There's no one there to watch your back. Washington, D.C., those who held Washington together will be gone. D.C. will fall into chaos within 1 hour. In 1 hour, all hell breaks loose. Those countries under a social government, well, you see a lot of them falling, like Venezuela now, and the communists will hold together a little bit better, but still they'll have the same problems that we'll have here. And then terror and fear, those things will set in after that hour, during that hour. A lot of people will come to Christ during that hour. A lot of people will try to kill themselves during that hour. Now, during that time, doesn't say death will flee from you at that time, but there comes a time when it will. So I don't know. And I would say it wouldn't be a good idea to try to escape something by dying, because you still have to answer to God. Will you be at the judgment seat, the Bema seat, or will you be at the great white throne judgment? That one is the one you don't want to be at. Mostly in terror and in fear for those things that will come upon the rapture, will cover the earth just like a rapid moving cloud and a plague in all directions. In 48 hours, you think FEMA camps are bad? You'll be looking for a FEMA camp to get into. That's 48 hours. You can only pray for a FEMA camp. Then the order will fail completely. The order will fail. Then the social order will turn into chaos. That's those who held things together as they are today. They'll be moved out of the way. Chaos will fall upon the world. In 7 days, 1 week, a new fear will come upon all who's left here. Massive looting. That'll begin on the second or third day, but they'll still be in shock of what had happened. So that will keep them at bay for a time. Give them 1 week, and by the thousands, massive looting. People will die. They'll die from every way they can die from. Guns, knives, just being beaten down and beaten up. Fire bombs, anything that can hurt and kill people, because they'll take what you want, those of you that are hidden in your homes, but those of you who bugged out You're the ones that'll be relatively safe for a time. 30 days, people everywhere are trying to stay hid and stay alive. Those who can have already bugged out, as I mentioned, hidden away. But again, they're the lucky ones, but too, they're going to be looked for. The forces have been told to enforce martial law. They are going to be evil forces because they're not going to pat you on the back or pat you on the hand or pat you on the butt and send you home. Curfew 1 hour before sundown. If you're on the streets after that, they'll ask you questions only after they shoot you. Shoot first and ask later. That's what it's going to be like. Every person out beyond that hour will probably die on the street. In 90 days, people from foreign nations, get this now, they will patrol our streets. Asians, Russians, Muslims, Hispanics, mainly Asians, will be patrolling our streets. The U.S. will be divided into zones. Example, Alabama, Florida, Georgia will be one zone. And you kind of keep it on the order that way. Now, you have the life after death. This is not talking about life after death. This is talking about life after rapture. The supernatural of the heaven, hell, and angels. And then you're going to see things. I'm just going to give you a list. The afterlife, and when I say afterlife, I'm not talking about after you die and then what happens. You don't want to be in that place in the afterlife. I'm just telling you now. In other words, you don't want to go before the great white throne judgment. You want to go before the Bema seat. And why? Because that window is still open today. And those who didn't accept it today, well, it'll be much harder to accept it then because you'll be tortured and punished, and they'll pull it out of you and make you turn over to them. Of course, once you receive the mark of the beast, then you're gone anyway. Signs. The signs are here today. The signs have been talked about by people like Kim Clements, Trey Smith, and then here we have what's about to come up, September the 23rd. Well, I said, I'm not so sure much will happen. Well, I also said I wasn't so sure much would happen after the eclipse, and I was dead wrong. Life during the last prophecy on earth prior to the rapture will change. Where will we go after that? Just prepare to have your mind blown when you begin to understand those things, and I will get to that in another blog. You have entities that's going to be exposed. We may not have a grand disclosure in our time. It will be after we have left, and that's all purposely set up that way because God won't allow us to be hurt by these things because they're here to hurt you guys. Exposing entities. And again, prophecy on ISIS, Israel, rapture, World War III, Antichrist. All this will be a reality, an upfront, in-your-face reality today. Nephilim giants, fallen angels, and you know, this can go on. This can keep going and for a long, long time, but I'm not going to go. I'm going to stop it. I want to just give you some things to think about, some things that you'll want to escape. The window of salvation, the window where salvation is free is closing, guys. It's closing. It's here. It's got about an inch and it's going to close. Where are you going to be when that window closes? Are you going to be in hiding? Or are you going to be in celebrating? I know where I'm going to be. Celebrating the fact that I'm not down here. Guys, please don't take a chance on what may happen in a few days, 9 days. Don't take a chance. Actually, 8 days now. So don't take a chance on what may come upon you quicker than you would want it to. A lot of people say, God, if I just had one more minute, one more breath left. You got that breath right now. You may not have it in a minute. Jody Wolf, Expoz.